Anyway. Detective Buddy. Detective Maeda of the Kamurocho Police. Oh, what a surprise if it isn't the 4th chairman of the Tojo clan. Hey, you do know your shit. You know who I am? Kiryu. People know who you are. Hey, you're famous in this town. So what does the 4th chairman want with me anyway? It made me so fucking happy when Raimi knew who we were with the hostesses. It also made me very happy that the most attractive out of all the hostesses knew who we were. Look, I like Raimi. Raimi's cool. Still love how Dart's explanation just floats over that guy's head no matter what. Is it in the cutscene too? I didn't notice. Oh, that shitstorm? Yeah, that was my case. Why'd you want to reopen that can of worms now? Someone's saying something about it. Trying to find out whether Yuichi Akechi really committed that murder or not. What? Are you saying you think he was falsely charged? Not a chance in hell. No? Why not? We aren't stupid, you know. The police don't arrest people without proof. I'm sorry, but the Ace Attorney playthrough that I've done recently would very much argue against this. We had plenty of evidence saying Akechi was the murderer. What kind of evidence? We had alibis, witness statements, fingerprints, and a motive. That did it. You've got all that evidence? Could you tell me a little bit more about it? Sure, I guess. Well then just stand there, have a seat. I feel like this is going to be a long-ass sub-story. Let's see, what to ask? Oh geez, who's ready for the conversation with Tamiya but about a sub-story? Tell me about the alibis. As part of our initial investigation, we interviewed everyone who may have been involved with the crime. In the end, the only person without one was Akechi. Like, can you tell me, former Yakuza boss, about all these crimes? Look, I've helped some people around town with their personal woes. That means I'm good. Help me now. Help me, ex-4th chairman of the Tojo clan, Dragon of Dojima, solve this crime. So, only person without an alibi. Only person without one's Akechi. Nobody else could have murdered Oda. Guess we've got two choices. Either we find Yuichi an alibi or find a flaw in one of the others. Damn, Kiryu! Your button's popping off! It fucking vibrates that hard, it might actually pop off your fucking jacket, man! What to ask? Ask about witness statements. Tell me about the witness statements. I swear to God, if I don't see Kiryu by the end of it, just slam a table and point at someone, I'm gonna be upset. Tell me about the witness. Ow! Fucking ow. Sorry, that was just my broken foot acting up again. Fuck, that one really hurt. It's like the first one that's happened in 2 days, but fuck, that was bad. Tell me about witness statements. Somebody witnessed Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene just after the crime. I heard about that. The waiter. Masaru Kinoshita? He gave a statement saying he saw Akechi. He's the murderer. If it was me, I'd probably think Yuichi did it too. I wonder how I can refute Kinoshita's statement. How about a motive? I feel like it would have been better to start this sub-story later on, so all of that graph stuff that we saw before I remembered. Tell me about the motive. Yuichi Akechi had plenty of motive to kill the victim, Oda. I mean, because Oda was sleeping with Yuichi's girlfriend, Sawako Usami. Bingo. And we didn't find anybody else who might have had a reason to kill Oda. So they didn't find anybody else, huh? What if someone else did have a reason to kill Oda? And what about the fingerprints? Tell me about the fingerprints. How much luminol did you chuck around? How much dusting powder did you do? Did you fill the entire screen until it was purely white and take like 10 minutes to do that? It's a reference to my other LP. My content very much rewards people who watch every single video of mine as they come out to really get all the cross-referential stuff that I say. The deciding factor in Akechi's arrest was his fingerprints. We took and compared fingerprints from each employee with those found on the murder weapon, but the only ones that matched were Akechi's. Check out a notebook if you need a reminder. Might be good after this info dump. Can I get that graph that, like, when you show people all moving around and everything? I know it's got the profile stuff, but can I see that, like the sequence of events, the way that the journalist, I think it was journalist, described it? Was it Wakazo? Was it literally Wakazo that we were talking to, or was it someone else? I don't actually remember. We conclude that the other prints came from cafe customers and so were unrelated. What if it was a customer that did it? Sounds like pretty conclusive evidence. Was Akechi really the only person involved with, who had fingerprints on the murder weapon? So there you go. Solid evidence. But if you think we made a mistake, I'd sure like to hear it. Not enough to go on right now. Guess I better take a closer look into everything that was going on at the time. Do you know what the cafe help stuff from back then are doing nowadays? Sure, I can tell you that much, but I doubt you'll get anything new from them. You're at the whereabouts of the people related to the case in the notebook. Guess my next step is to go visit the people involved. Florist might know something too. I should go talk to him. Hey, Florist, all of your hidden cameras, did they show the murder? Because they probably did. Hey, Dart's explanation. So, okay. We go to this. Wakaza, it is Wakaza. Yeah, so we don't get like the sequence of events that shows everything. Like the graph that showed people moving in and out. That's what I want to see again. Which I don't have. Murder suspect. Waiter, relationship with Usami, past locker room while closing. Saw witness Usami cheating with store manager Oda. Beat Oda to death with an ashtray, question mark. Witness fleeing seen by Kenichida. Convicted of murder, now serving sentence. Convicted due to alibi, witness testimony, motive, and fingerprints. Nozomi is the sister, yeah? Yeah. Maeda, lead detective. Dislikes coffee. Drinks all night. And did all that. So yeah, I've got everything from that. Oda. Discovered by Akechi having an affair with waitress Usami. Beaten to death with ashtray by Akechi. Blunt force trauma to the head. Relationship with suspect Akechi. Already ended shift on day of murder, but stayed in the store to bang. Witnessed by Akechi to be cheating with Oda. Currently employed at Mark Bowl. Sorry, Kenichida, current manager of Cafe Alps. Discovered Oda's body after witnessing Akechi fleeing the scene, then called police, and cleaning with Akechi at the time of the murder. Okay. Iamagawa, not present on day of murder. Employed at Club Sega and Asai. Closing register at time of murder. Currently employed at Nakamichi Street Popo. Damn, you can tell that this is realistic to retail and hospitality because it's only a couple years later and literally no one works in the same spot, but they all work somewhere else in retail. Except for the manager. Damn. Damn, this shit is realistic. Alright. So what about... So our places to stop by are Mark Ball, Cafe Alps, Sega, and Nakamichi Popo. Okay. That we can manage. That we can manage. Time for Kiryu's cardio. Just gonna run around the entire fucking city. Hell yeah, let's go. Oh, and Florist. Yeah. Florist is back in Purgatory. I'll go there first. Florist is over this way, so I'll go there first. Or should I speak to everyone else first and use their information? I'll go Florist first. I'll go to the Florist first. I gotta say, I do appreciate them going this far with the sub-story. It might turn out tedious, it might turn out annoying when we do it, when we go through more of it. But I appreciate them, I'm sure if you... I'm not sure if you can change the sub-story, but if you can, it's not until the last part of it. I'm going to assume we talk to everyone, learn everything, and then when we have to say at the end how the crime actually happened, that we can shame. I'm gonna have a guess and say that's what I can do. So yeah, I'll like save it after I talk to everyone. God, this game has such good hit moves. God, this game has such good fucking hit moves. Honest to God, part of the reason why I might be enjoying the combat in this game more than I have in so many other Yakuza games might be because of how good the hit moves are. And also, this game's doing the thing that I liked about Kiwami 1's system, where it feels like you have an actual list of all different, like, specific moves that you can do that aren't just that aren't just your rush combos. That are used for different situations or taking out people in different ways. Like knockbacks, parries, dodge hits, stuff like that. Kiryu gets a penalty, but it's just the judge actually punching Kiryu to lower his health. Can you tiger drop a judge pounding their gavel? Can you tiger drop that? Because that would be sick. Slash, if the judge is using a gavel, does it count as them using a one-handed weapon, and can you do a disarming heat move on them from that? Because that would also be sick. Ah! Honestly, with how often the walking between those into those fixed camera angle spots fucks with your camera and makes it awkward to move around. God, actually playing Yakuza 1 and 2 on the PS2 when the entire city was fixed camera angles must have been annoying. It must have gotten annoying from that because wow. Because this game is already bad at it and it's only in a couple sequences. Come on, check the Burger store now. The casinos? Oh no, the dude who's near the exit. Right. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot he was a I forgot he was a thing for a second. Right, the dude near the exit. He sells a bunch of bullshit. Right. Yes. Yes. Get it? It's a JoJo reference. I should ask Flores about the Alps murder. Yo, Flores! Damn, we just zoomed into his underground thing. I'm so glad that he's back here and not wearing his cop uniform. It didn't suit him at all. Not even just the whole, like, fuck cops thing. It's just, like, this dude's laid back and leisurely and stuff like that. Having just a giant fucking open robe makes way more sense for him than having, like, a tight, stuffy cop uniform with a little hat on. Hey, Kiryu, heard you looking into that Cafe Alps murder? Damn, nothing gets by you, Flores, does it? Huh? How'd you hear about that? Don't underestimate my information network. I know everything that goes on in this town. It's amazing how many people still die then. I guess that's not like you know. Guess you do. So you know anything about the murder? I have the police reports in my database. What do you want to know? I'd like to ask you about the murder weapon, the ashtray. Tell me about the murder weapon. Same type of ashtray was found all over the cafe, but there was one significant difference between those and the murder weapon. It was broken, bloody, had a dent in it, and also fingerprints. Oh yeah? What was that? The weaponized ashtray had a chipped edge. Yeah, that looks, that definitely looks like it would possibly be a murder weapon. Or broken in the midst of a kerfuffle where someone was murdered, fell to the ground, and then broke, and then also got blood on it afterwards. Do you know how that happens? The murderer customer knocked the ashtray off the table onto the floor, chipping it. Wait. So it wasn't broken when it was beaten over someone's head, but it was broken by being dropped on the ground? That sounds suspicious. That sounds suspicious. Catchy noticed it while it was cleaning up at closing time. Decided to bring it out to the dumpster to throw it away. That's when he passed by the locker room and saw his girlfriend cheating. So there's no doubt Akechi touched the murder weapon that day. Nope. Normally the ashtray would have been washed and the fingerprints would have disappeared. But Akechi noticed that particular ashtray had been chipped, so instead of washing it, he decided to throw it out. And by that twist of fate, everyone who touched it that day still had their prints all over it. So all the fingerprints on the murder weapon were made on the day of the murder, huh? Wait a minute, a customer just spilled their spaghetti sauce on this. It's not even a murder weapon. Right, it is Cafe Alps. They do sell spaghetti there, don't they? You got Flores' testimony. I have the police reports. I'd also like to know about the fingerprints. Animaniacs reference. Ayo. Good night, everybody. Tell me about the fingerprints on the ashtray.
Ooh.
Fuck, I really do feel like I'm playing Ace. I really do feel like I'm playing Ace Attorney right now. What the fuck? These are all the prints taken from the ashtray. Fuck me. The prints outlined in red match Akechi's. There's apparently evidence that led directly to his arrest. What about all the other ones? What about the other fingerprints? Well, one thing's for sure. None of them match the prints of any of the other employees at Cafe Alps at the time. They thought to be from customers who visited the cafe that day. Probably 2 or 3 people. One of these sets of prints might be from the real murderer. It's certainly possible if a customer did it. Real murderer's prints could be on the ashtray, huh? Should be able to get more information from the people related to the case. You haven't talked to all of them yet? You better do that. Thanks. You've been a big help. I owe you one. Nice. Hey, now I get to explore this. There's no locker keys in this one room, is there? I don't think so. Yo, look, it's all the fish. Where's the fish that did the symbolism? Which one's the fish that did the symbolism? Also, I'm not just realizing this about this. So the water goes up to the top there. Where is that? Where is that? Where is your exit that leads around to the place where people can feed the fish in this fish tank? Because all of this is meant to be an underground abandoned subway. Where is your exit that takes me up to there? You're very ornate, buddy. I've mentioned before, I love the... I mean, like, this giant fucking castle at the end of this, like, there's trees growing under here. I don't know how these Sakura trees are getting enough light to grow. They're clearly real. Look how often they're shedding petals and stuff like that. And they're permanently in bloom, which from my understanding happens for like 1 or 2 weeks a year. So I guess... No, I guess this is the tunnel. Because, yeah, this is all concrete here. And now there is just cave. So either this is a natural cave, or they dug out this far and just didn't lay the concrete down here. So that's why it's a big spot at the end. And that castle opens up and a smaller gold one inside. Fucking Yakuza, you're so ridiculous. Look, I like, okay. Oh! Yeah, let's go. 21, get it? Because there's gambling around here and there's blackjack. Okay, like the women in cages fawning themselves out to the men watching. No, not that. It was an it was an abandoned subway tunnel. It must have been in the middle of making it, because there's like natural caves there. And I guess, again, where obviously the Colosseum is, there's another natural cave there. But, I've mentioned it before. Like, that part I'm not, like, massively keen on. But the idea of there's a bunch of, like, shops or just, like, debauchery places inside of an old subway tunnel that's partially flooded. I love the aesthetic of that. Like, I love the idea that it's just like, oh, subway stairs, and you go down to a subway platform, and it's just a slightly flooded tunnel that has all of that. Horrible fire hazard. Horrible fire hazard. Everyone will die the moment any fire happens here in any fucking capacity. Like, everyone will die so easily, right? Big problems in that regard. It's not a fire hazard, you jump into the river? I don't think that's how that works. I don't know if everything else is burning you can do that. Also, there are people who die by jumping into pools of water while fire happen around them based on what happens. Sometimes they survive, sometimes it's what kills them. I think anything in this place was built with any sort of legal codes in mind. My thought process is more so, yeah, it's not going to be with legal codes. It's a secret underground den of gambling for rich people. Obviously, it's not going to be legal. My thought process is more so, like, my favorite bar in Sydney is Frankie's Bar and Pizza. And it's like, there's a tiny fucking staircase that goes down, and the front of the place is a pizza restaurant, and the back of the place is like a metal-themed nightclub with pinball machines and shit. I love that place. It's my favorite fucking place in the city, right? But every time I go there, I have that thought in the back of my mind. I go down this tiny little stairwell to underneath all these buildings to go underground to immediately to a place that has a gigantic fucking pizza oven in the middle of a bar. That is all wood tables and chairs and shit like that. This is asking to go up one day. And every single time I enter that place, that thought goes in the back of my mind. It's never happened, and it's not something I'm stressed about the entire time that I'm there. But every time I walk down those stairs, it clicks in the back of my mind at least once. I'm just saying, I enjoy the purgatory, and I would go to a place like that in real life, but that thought would enter my mind at least once. I don't think the flamethrowers in the fighting ring are up to code. Also, yes, the fact that a fire can break out down there and just incinerate anyone in that tunnel also doesn't help the fact that they have a fighting ring that shoots flame jets out of the ground. So, you know, that's also a concern. Ah, fuck, I guess, okay. I've now got that inventory slot. Alright. I'm not gonna recognize whether I do or don't have some of this stuff. Is there any stuff here specifically that you know is new? Is the Dragon Flash driver new? Is this one new? What about the White Lotus comb? An older one left this particular White Lotus comb behind years ago. I've never seen another one like it. How many references does this game have to Granny White? I fucking love it. Granny, like, references to Granny White come up so fucking frequently in this game. I kind of dig it. I don't think I have this. And I don't know if I have this. But it's also just a golf club, which I have. I'm gonna buy the cone. I'll buy the cone. I think the cone might be it. Guess it's in the post-game that gets the real good shit. Yes, Yakuza post-game, that thing that I never do. Look, I'm not gonna deny, though, that there's always this thought process in the back of my mind when I play video games on my own outside of a stream, which, to be fair, doesn't happen very often, because I'm bad at organizing. Like, if I'm in a slump where I'm really bad at organizing my time because I'm too tired and shit, it's basically never. I will say, I was proud of myself. This is what I am like as a person, and this is what my life is like, that I was proud of myself for this. I got home yesterday, I did my stream, and I sorted out things after the stream. Videos are actually being uploaded now, everything that I have for Yakuza except for the last 2 episodes, because I have to, like, re-record those, because the video glitched out a little bit, so I have to, like, re-record them so I can put them into Vegas and edit them. But, like, everything for Yakuza that's, like, that is recorded and stuff is currently, like, up on YouTube and prepped, and that makes me happy. I didn't stop my Kamiyama even though I had that, what the fuck. It doesn't matter. I don't think it actually matters. But, like, I did all of that. I ate dinner. I did some exercise. I had a shower, had dinner and stuff like that. And I had everything prepped. Like, I did all of my dailies. I did all of my real life dailies. And I did them early enough and simply enough that I finished everything that I needed to do in the day by, like, 8 o'clock at night. And I was able to spend, like, 3.5 hours just playing Monster Hunter. Do you have any idea how many weeks it's been since I've had enough spare time in a single day? Because I've organized myself enough to do enough stuff in that day that I've been able to spend 3.5 hours just playing a video game on my own. Do you have any idea how long it's been since I've been able to do that? It's been weeks. And I was actually able to do that yesterday. And I was just like, I was legitimately proud of myself, right? I was just like, oh my god, I actually, like, did all the stuff that I needed to do and did it in a timely manner and didn't waste time or, like, fall asleep or have a nap or anything. That I was able to just spend some time to myself just recreationally playing a video game, which I've not done in a long time. But, like, legitimately proud of myself. I very much get into slumps where my tiredness gets so strong that it's hard for me to do that, because I just lose the energy to do all the stuff I need to do in a day, and I refuse to do stuff for myself unless I finish everything that I need to do, because otherwise I'll just be too like, if I start playing video games on my own before, like, I have a shower, or brush my teeth, or have dinner, or, like, do editing and stuff, I'll just be distracted thinking about that the whole time I'm doing my own thing. So, I refuse. And obviously, for weeks, I've never done that. I've always gone to the end of the day just going, fuck, I haven't done everything that I've needed to do today. As you can tell by the fact that videos lately on YouTube have been basically non-existent. It's been a long-ass time since... What is this? Have I been to Pronto in this game? Have I been to this place before? I don't know if I recognize this one. I don't recognize this. I don't know if I recognize this place. Get some I'll get some mango juice. I don't recognize this place. Not a carbonara. Ew. I hate that I'm a boring... actually, no. No, this. Eggplant, tomato sauce, and bacon. I was about to say, I hate that I'm boring enough that spaghetti and meat sauce is the one I like the most on there. But no, eggplant, bacon. I do that. They'll let you do the day and night menus. Neat. Oh, cafe and bar a day and night. I don't know if I've ever been in this place before. Is this new for Yakuza 3? I don't recognize it from previous games. Huh. An entire new... So I was just looking for where Popo is on Nakamichi. Right. It's in here, because this is Nakamichi Alley. I keep forgetting that. But yeah, like, I organized my time enough last night that I was able to, like, play games on my own, which normally I'm really bad at. Like, it's been every game so far. Have I ever gone in it before? My god. My god. Before I talk to I want to say my point about that. one thing I very much noticed about myself is I've gone for years just thinking, wow, I am bad at, like, managing my life, doing daily things that I need to do to look after myself, or just, like, keep up to date with things. Like, the whole idea of, like, if you take little steps every day, eventually, like, they turn into bigger progress things, of just, like, if you exercise a little bit every day, you'll get more fit over time. If you focus on your diet every day, you'll get better over time. You practice instruments, like, every day, you'll get a little bit better over time. I'm still basically non-existent skills at my guitar, but I know I need lessons in person for that. I want to get, like, actual keyboard lessons in person for that. Trying to teach myself I'm bad at. With, like, no knowledge of music theory or how to play a piano or keyboard in any capacity. I am learning how to use Ableton more, and that's basically it. Yeah, I thought for years that I'm just bad at it, and especially this year, I realized how much of it is just, like, oh, like, sometimes it is just way harder for me to do that. Like, I went 8 months with, like, really severe cluster headache episode. Normally, cluster headache episodes will go for 1 to 2 weeks, but I had a fucking period where it was 8 months in a row. So every single morning I was waking up in crippling pain at, like, 3:30 in the morning. And I'm just, like, wondering outside of that, damn, why am I so bad at doing everything? And then that episode stopped, and, like, a month after the episode stopped, oh shit, I'm, like, doing my laundry on time, and I'm keeping my room clean, and I'm, like, having showers every day, and stuff like that, and, like, I'm eating better and stuff like that, and I'm exercising more frequently. It's almost like when all of the barriers and bullshit in your life aren't there, that stuff isn't actually that difficult. And then, like, it's been bad for the last couple of weeks just because I've been so physically exhausted. Which is probably just a combination of so many other things, but, like, I'm not pushing myself, like, I'm eating fine and, like, stuff, I'm not pushing myself in any capacity. I've just been physically exhausted, which I think is just more of a lack of tolerance thing, which, you know, hopefully that will fix now, but yeah, now that without those barriers in the way and stuff, like, yesterday was the first time I was able to, like, quote-unquote, take care of myself properly, and the first time in several weeks, and I'm just like, and it was easy. Because everything, like, there wasn't anything getting in the way of doing that. So, like, basically, like, I've learned to be less hard on myself. If I start falling up behind on those things, focus on what I can do, focus on improving things so I'm in a better position to do all those things, but, like, yeah, when you have to worry about struggles of just, like, physical health, or problems that are just occurring with you, or just, like, dealing with social problems or monetary issues or just a shithouse job. Like, when you've got stuff that is just weighing you the fuck down, yeah, it's way harder to, like, do those day-to-day things that will improve your life. It's way fucking harder. And I've learned to be less hard on myself for not being perfect at that every single day of my life. Because I'm aware sometimes that, not necessarily that it's not my fault that I don't do it, but more so there are going to be days where it is going to be harder for me to do that. And it's not my fault that it's harder for me to do it. And yeah, if it's going to be harder and harder and harder for, like, a lot of days in a row, yeah, it's asking a lot more of me to do those day-to-day things that, like, will improve yourself. So yeah, if it gets harder, like, if I'm at a point where it's like it's hard to do that shit day to day, don't be so hard on myself about it, because I'm aware it's not just, oh, I'm being lazy, or oh, I'm not being motivated. No, it's just actually more difficult to do those things at certain points. So, like, that's what I meant, like, that's what I mean, like, I was proud of myself that I was able to play video games on my own time yesterday. But my point being, if I'm able to keep that shit up for the rest of my life, which, difficult, and also not entirely in my control, I am tempted to go back to the Yakuza games that I've played so far, and complete the completion list on them. Because I just want to play, well, like, I was giddy today, getting off of work and getting a blood test, and coming back home. I was giddy to stream, less, like, no, partially because of, like, the whole, I enjoy streaming, and I enjoy talking to everyone, and I enjoy, like, voicing my opinions on video games while I play them, and all that shit. Like, yeah, I was excited for all that, but I'm just like, I get to play Yakuza today, yay. So I'm just like, I want that feeling outside of streaming, so I'm kind of just tempted to just play, because even doing the completion stuff in Yakuza, even if it's tedious or stuff like that, I'll still be in the world of Yakuza playing Yakuza, so I'll probably still enjoy it. Are you a Sai, former employee of Cafe Alps? Yeah. Who are you? Kazuma Kiryu. I want to ask you about the murder that happened there 6 years ago. Oh, it was 6 years ago. I thought it was 2 years ago that murder happened. Oh, that's way longer than I thought. Shit.
Oh, なるほどな.
Oh, that. So what do you want to know? Let's see what to ask. Jesus Christ. I've got to stop getting distracted and talking about long-winded topics because, wow, this is the longest sub-story we're ever going to do. You were at the cafe at the time of the murder, weren't you? Yeah. I think I was closing the register. It was after we'd been closed for the night. You didn't go anywhere near the murder scene, the locker room. Of course not. I mean, why would I? I was still working, wasn't I? What? He's acting kind of funny. Yeah. Some random dude came into his shop and started asking him about this murder that happened a couple years ago at this place that you work. Did you do it? Of course he's gonna act weird. Ask about witness statements. Gotta finish this drink. Energy drinks. Now we move on to the water. Oh, God! The condensation on it has made a massive puddle on my desk because I put the can on my coaster and not that. Oh, God. So give me a second. Give me a second. If I don't dry that off now, it's going to cause problems. Fuck. Just put that on there. We're okay. Get off the camera. Sorry. Do you know anything about the person seen running from the scene of the crime?
Yeah.
No, I don't know anything. I only found out a murder had taken place when Kinoshita-san showed up looking as white as a sheet. I didn't see the murderer at all. I see. Oh, but I did see Oda-san's body. Jesus, what? Ugh, I can still see it. Black. So thanks for reminding me about it, asshole. Says I went to locker room after the murderer escaped, huh? He did it. He did it. He absolutely did it. No, I'm totally not going to say that for every person. What are you talking about? What about your motive? Do you know anybody with a motive to kill Oda? Well, you reap what you sow. I mean, it was bad enough he was always messing around at the workplace, but going after an employee's woman? Get a grip. Make it sound like he'd slept with other women at the cafe before. Yeah. I saw him hook up with another woman there once. Oh. He was known to do this multiple times. Another woman. Got a name for her? Yeah. I think her last name was Satoi. I guess she was dating Oda-san at the time of the murder. I didn't see anybody named Satoi listed among people related to the case. She already quit the cafe by that time. I heard she still hung around Oda-san, though. So Oda was dating someone at the time. You had a size testimony. What about the fingerprints? Your fingerprints weren't found on the murder weapon. Isn't that strange seeing as you're one of the waiters? I didn't like doing the ashtrays. I always left that to other people. But it's pretty natural my fingerprints wouldn't be on it, I guess. I see. Okay. Okay. The shop's pretty boring, so thanks for helping me kill some time. You can ask me more whenever you want. I'm glad you're okay with just discussing this murder before, because this job is too cushy. What do you mean? It's not like I have anything to hide. He did it. He totally did it. So that sounds like he knows more, but I just don't have enough information right now to get it out of him. Oh, this is okay. Okay. We're totally going to be in a case of we're bouncing around people multiple times to get all of the information out of them. The Club Sega that the dude works at, which one is that? Just so I don't waste my time. Theater Square, of course. And your Macball. Can't be the one on Nakamichi Street. Nah. Nah, that'd be too easy. That'd be too easy. I'm gonna stop by Cafe Elves last. So we'll go by the other places beforehand. I was about to say, have I been in the Club Sega and Theater Square in this game? Does it have different games to the one on Nakamichi? But no, this is where we went with Haruka to catch skill testers at the beginning of the game. Because we weren't allowed to go to Nakamichi. So, yeah. Stupid cone. I swear this game clumps the AI, so they're always walking directly in front of you. Like, when it spawns them all in, it spawns them where you're gonna walk. Box Elios! It's you! Ow. You know, I'm really glad that all these people are working night shift at the same time. You're Imagawa, right? That's right. Who are you? I'm looking at the Cafe Elps murder from 6 years ago. What? Did you even say your name, Kiryu? They say you weren't at the cafe the day of the murder. Is that true? Yeah, spent the whole day at home. Alone? No, some friends came over and we played video games. These friends corroborated your alibi? That's right, so it wasn't me. Okay, what about the witness statements? Can I ask all of your friends? Do you know anything about the man seen fleeing the scene? No, I didn't see anything. I didn't say anything, I didn't hear anything. Ah, monkeys. What about the motive? Can you think of anybody who'd want to kill Oba? I don't know anything, don't ask me. Fingerprints. Prints weren't found on the murder weapon, were they? Next you're gonna start saying I wore gloves. Well, you're wrong, I wasn't anywhere near the cafe that day. Yes, his answer is your prints wouldn't be on it. I don't know anything about the murder, just leave me alone. You guys got a persecution complex. You're literally coming in accusing you of murder. I don't think that's a persecution complex. I think that's just, he's currently being persecuted. Let me know if you remember anything around time. Doesn't matter how small. I didn't do anything. Honest, you have to believe me. Everyone's saying I'm the murderer, aren't they? Aren't they? No, nobody's saying anything about you. I don't believe you. Everyone hated me at that cafe. They used to harass me. Harassed you how? Okay, we're actually getting some information. Someone even stole my wallet, CDs, and uniform out of my locker on the day of the murder. Wait, what? You sure the police didn't pick them up as evidence? Absolutely sure. Someone was harassing me, I tell you. Somebody stole Imagawa's things, huh? Okay. Okay. Ooh, locker key. Locker key. There we go. Damn, look, it's the game with terrible netcode. Alright, we're out of here. Remember when there was like an entire discourse thing? It might have, like, I don't know how long it lasted, but there was like an entire discourse thing of people just trying to argue that just like netcode and net connections for video games isn't real. The way people talk about it, it's not a real thing. There isn't a difference between something like rollback netcode and other things. It's not real. There isn't a difference. You are all just complaining about something that has that you're naming something that isn't a real thing. There was like a lot of people who were of that opinion. Now, I will agree. Some people will take anything as not being rollback netcode equaling bad, and people thinking that anything rollback netcode equals good, and that's simplifying it too much. There are games that don't have rollback netcode that work well, and there are games that have rollback netcode that still have shit online. It is not a cure-all, it still needs to be done well, and it can be done well without it. That is true. People might simplify it too much, but there was like a rollback, it's the Australian accent. Yeah, it's netcode that doesn't wear a condom. Look, if you put a condom around your, like, Wi-Fi adapter, it's not gonna work as well. That's why the best Ethernet cables, there's no insulation around them. It's just pure cabling, the wiring inside, no insulation. That's what rollback netcode is. That's secretly what it is. When people ask if you're using Wi-Fi or you're a LAN player, do keep in mind that there are two tiers of LAN players. People who insulate their cables, cowards, and people who just use raw exposed cables running through their house. Fucking heroes. Do keep this in mind. I got nothing good from that, did I? So you're still getting viruses on your computer. Yes, but it does make your internet connection when you're playing against people online terrible. Yeah. No, like, I agree. There are people who simplify the arguments of just, like, rollback always equal good, not rollback always equal bad. There are people who simplify it too much and categorize it that simply. And yeah, that's inaccurate when you do that. But, like, there was a period in time, and, like, this was at the point where, like, Skullgirls was, like, noted for being one of... Is Skullgirls, like, one of the first ones that, like, had the rollback? But, like, basically it was, like, when one of the first, like, there was very, very few fighting games that had rollback netcode. And people were asking, hey, maybe put it into other fighting games because it's good. And, like, there was a significant number of people that I saw online just being like, people say they want rollback netcode and they don't even know what they want. Netcode's not a real thing for online multiplayer. George, you just don't know what you're talking about. You've given a name to something that doesn't exist, and you're complaining about nothing. There was like a significant number of people who I saw make this argument. And again, there are people who will use the phrase netcode without knowing what they're talking about or describe things that aren't accurate. Yes, there are people who do that. But like, I saw a significant number of people trying to make the point that rollback netcode either isn't real or is the same thing that has always been used in online connections, and it's just a name given to some fighting games that have good online as opposed to bad online, and it's not actually any different to what was before. And I find that fucking hilarious when you see how many fighting games nowadays, if they have rollback netcode, it's an advertised feature. Are you Sawako Usami? Yes. What do you want? I'm looking into the murder that happened at Cafe Elf 6 years ago. Why don't you say your name? I mean, I get why you don't say your occupation, because you have no goddamn right doing this. But still. There's nothing left to say. Yuichi Akechi might not have killed Oba. If we're gonna find out the truth, I need to hear your account of what happened that day. She looks sad. It was totally her. It was totally her. She wasn't cheating on him. He was like assaulting her, so he killed her, and she killed him in self-defense. She totally did it. You were there when Akechi confronted Oba, weren't you? Yeah. I mean, I was the reason they fought, so of course I was there. What happened after that? Hey, I run an orphanage in Okinawa. Can you tell me about this murder from 6 years ago? Hey, I'm ex-Dragon of Dojima. Can you tell me about this murder from 6 years ago? Look, I'll be honest, the only reason that me, ex-Yakuza crime lord, hasn't killed anyone is because I don't understand how. And I just want to ask all of you really intimate details about how this murder happened so I can learn how to do it. Because there's some motherfuckers I want to take out, but I just don't know, like, I keep hitting people with, like, violent weaponry, or, like, throwing them off buildings, or, like, dumping them in oceans, or filling them with syringes that do stuff, or, like, breaking their neck on my knee. And none of these people die, and I need to know how to kill someone. I've shot people, and they keep surviving. I really need to know, how the fuck am I actually meant to kill someone? I want to kill these people, and I don't know how to. I keep trying, and it just doesn't work. This is my new Kiryu headcanon. What happened after that? Did you see Akechi kill Oba? I took off, so don't ask me. Took off? What do you mean? My clothes, obviously. We were having sex. Do you have any idea what it feels like to have your significant other walk in on you when you're with someone else? Talk about awkward. Yeah, that's the word. And it would have been even more awkward if other people started coming in to see what all the fuss was about. So I ran out the back door. I'm not even going to make a joke about that one because it's too low-hanging of a fruit. I say, pretending like that ever stops me. What did you do after you left the cafe? I went home, but Yuichi followed me. We spent the night arguing about breaking up. Of course, I never imagined he'd already killed Oda-san. So you're saying you didn't see Akechi kill Oda? That's right, and I told the police that too. So nobody actually saw Akechi kill Oda, huh? Okay. How about everything else? How about everything else? Tell me about the person seen playing the scene. I don't know anything about that. I left the cafe before Yuichi did, so I don't know how he left. If she ran out, people might have thought they just saw her. Right, okay. What about the motive? Any idea why somebody would kill Oda? You trying to be funny? No, I mean, besides your relationship with Oda. Did he do anything to make anybody else mad? I don't know. The police would have known if he had any loans out or anything like that, right? I wasn't particularly close to him, really. We just ended up hooking up that night. I see. Maybe Akechi really did kill Oda after seeing him with Usami. Even at this point, Kiryu's just like, maybe this dude actually did it. They didn't find your fingerprints on the murder weapon, right? Right. Then they found Yuichi's. We constantly replaced the customer's ashtray with clean ones. Yuichi must have been the one who only wanted to touch that one. I guess he was just unlucky. Yuichi took good care of the customers and replaced ashtrays often. I think he must have noticed that one was chipped. Fair enough. Fair enough. Actually, screw this sub-story. He did it. We through here? I'm supposed to be working. Right. Sorry. Thanks for the help. Sam! Someone who actually gives a shit about the fact that they're working at a job. And we're just interrupting them with bullshit. Yeah, can I just go back to the sister and say, your brother did it, get over it, and just change the sub-story and get it over with? Not that I would do that, and I'm not sick of the sub-story or anything like that. I just find the idea funny. I think this is actually a really sick sub-story. This is really cool. Like, this is involved in depth. Feels like an entirely different thing. It feels like we're playing a different game right now. It's cool. Like, the biggest thing that, like, so far the only criticism I have about the sub-story itself is the fact that you have to run around all around town. And that's just me criticizing that this button doesn't run outside of chase sequences in this game again. So, you know, I'm not actually complaining about the sub-story. I'm complaining about the game itself again. Look, I don't think your navigation around town is, like, awfully slow. Like, I don't think it's bad how slow you move around town. I don't think it's bad that you move around town this slow, and realistically, it takes maybe a minute or two to walk from the very top to the very bottom if you don't get into fights. I don't think it's bad, right? Like, the structure and the nature of the city, you want to take in the sights, you want to see everything around you, you learn the place, you know the lay of the land. You can walk around without having to look at a map or anything after enough time, and that's the design and structure of the game. It's a very dense map. It's like people compare this to other open world games, and that's always what they say. It's a small, dense map, which kind of makes it better. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the game not having a sprint button. It's more so I've played 3 games before this with a sprint button, so now that I don't have it, boy do I miss it. Boy, do I miss the ever-loving hell out of my sprint button, and I would love it back. This is what Phoenix is doing whenever you click the move button. Yeah, see, that's the thing. In Phoenix, right, when you click the move button, it takes a second to pop up somewhere else, where in this game, it takes 30 or 40 seconds to do that. Plus taking way longer, because I have to complain about stuff. Ah, I spilled water all over myself. So not only did I get water on my table from the condensation of the bottle, I didn't realize the bottle was so full that when I took the cap off, it was literally only staying, like, no water was spilling out because of the water tension on the top of the cap. So the moment that I moved the bottle in any capacity, I squeezed it just a slight amount and just went everywhere. Jesus Christ, 2 sessions in a row that I'm having to use this fucking towel to dry liquid off everywhere. Oh, I just made everyone sad again. Tragedy plus time equals I can make a joke about Rikia dying in my reaction to it the next stream and laugh about it. I'm fucked up. That hit me really hard when it happened, and I feel like I've seen so much death in this Yakuza franchise that I'm already desensitized to it. Jesus Christ. Also, the gameplay is making me do a bunch of side content immediately after that, so it's kind of like... the emotional impact is kind of not being experienced right now, because we're not getting a resolution to the story. We're investigating a different murder. Or saving people from being murdered, or stopping someone from murdering themselves. Awful lot of almost risk of people dying, or actually people dying. You're Kinoshita-san, right? Standing in a really weird spot. Who are you serving when you're there? Why aren't you behind the counter? Or like taking this dude's spot? Mm-hmm. That's right. Who are you? Kazuma Kiryu. You'd know me. I'm a regular. Also, I want to ask about a murder that happened here. I helped stop that person who was taking pervert videos up people's skirts, but I also want to know about a murder that happened here. Oh, that. Well, I don't know if I can tell you anything new, but go ahead. Well, he's the owner now, not just a dude working here. Oh, is he not the manager anymore? He's the owner? Oh. Oh, I didn't realize that. Was Oda the old owner? Can't take the spot in case he just want to use regular services. I can just ask him, guys, get some food. I'll ask you questions later. Where were you and what were you doing when Oda was killed? I was here, in the custom area, cleaning up. I believe you can see me on the security camera tapes. I thought it said owner, I might be remembering wrong. I have no idea. I was in the locker room when the murder took place. Huh. Okay, fair enough. Witness statements. They say you saw Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene on the night of the crime. Tell me more about that. Yes, I saw him. That night, Akechi-kun disappeared right in the middle of the cleanup. I waited a while, and when he still didn't come back, I went to check on him. That's when I saw him leaving through the back door of the cafe. Are you sure it was Akechi? Well, I saw his back, but I'm sure it was him. If you didn't see his face, then how can you be so sure it was Akechi? The man I saw leave through the back door was wearing a cafe's waiter's uniform. They could have just stolen him there in the back. Tell me about your alibi over a nice coffee. Look, just sit down with Wakaza. We're just gonna discuss this about how you totally did it. Because you wanted to kill Oda because he was the old owner and now you're the owner. Because, like, whoever kills the king becomes the new king. But for retail hospitality work. Aside from Oda-san, there were only 3 other male employees working that night. Akechi-kun, a guy called Asai-kun, and me. You can see Asai-kun spending the night closing the register on the security tapes. The only person I could have seen would have been Akechi-kun. I see. After that, I called the police and waited at the back door until they showed up. No one tried to enter or leave during that time. So Kenichi didn't see the criminal's face. That's what we got out of that. Alright, motive? Was that? Oh, it was witness name, so we just asked, right? Yeah. We were gonna make Akechi the new owner for killing Oda, but apparently murder's a crime now. Damn. Japan's getting way too conservative. Murder's a crime? Ugh. I'm not sure. I don't really talk to him much outside of work. I see. Fair enough. Were your prints on the murder weapon? No, they weren't. I keep thinking that if I had touched that ashtray that day, I would have been blamed for the murder. Alright, okay. Fair enough. Sorry, I can be of more help. You got me. You told me there were security tapes. I don't know if I've heard that yet, so. Are you Detective Kiryu-san? Not exactly. Why do you ask? No reason. I was just wondering why anyone would be looking at that case now. Trying to help my friend find out if Yuichi Akechi's innocent. Innocent? Think someone else could have been the murderer? It's possible. I see. I'd feel terrible for Akechi-kun if he really was innocent all this time. I can't imagine what it's like to be in prison for a crime I didn't commit. Yeah, neither can I. Damn. Imagine going to prison for a crime you didn't commit. I imagine it wouldn't feel good. Especially for 6 years. Damn. An entire 6 years? Damn, that would suck. That would be awful. That's why we're trying to find out the truth. If you think of anything else, let me know. Okay, I will. I mean, Akazo's like right here. That's all on this sub-story for 4 more years. Kiryu-san, you find out anything? Nothing conclusive yet. Alright, okay. The only thing I can think of is talking to Asai. It's the only person that Kiryu was just like, I should talk to him when I get more info. We now have more info. Maybe say once you're done talking to people, right, we can shame it. Right. Alright. I'm gonna save it now, so I've spoken to everyone once. Just otherwise I'll forget. No, I won't. I've been paranoid saving like a motherfucker in this game. But in case I do. Because I do have poor memory. Everyone knows this. I never shut the fuck up about it. I feel like today's stream's actually gonna go for like 5 or 6 hours. This length of side content's taking way longer than I thought it would, and I'm incapable of shutting up about other things. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Not because the game's padded or boring or anything, just I don't shut up. Give me that shotgun. Literally just kneed it out of his hand. Where'd that shotgun go? Oh yes, because the heat move happened over here. That's where it spawned. There we go. There we go. Hell yeah. I want my heat moves with the gun back. I want Kiryu to pistol whip someone in the face with a gun and then put an entire clip into their body with a semi-automatic pistol and not kill them somehow. I want those fucking heat moves back. Where are they? If only Kiryu could aim down for a bit. Look, Kiryu's a Resident Evil protagonist. He started out his journey in fixed camera angles, so obviously he can't aim the gun down. I say this, I'm pretty sure you can aim the gun down to zombies in Resident Evil. I'm pretty sure that's like an entire part of the gimmick. if the zombies down on the ground, you can double tap them on the ground to kill them. I'm pretty sure it's an entire thing in the fixed camera angle Resident Evil games. I'm pretty sure I'm talking out of my ass right now. It's almost like I haven't played them. And I've something headshots. Yes, if you don't get the headshot, they'll come back as a Crimson Head. See, I know Resident Evil. I know Resident Evil. I've just never played them. I'm so excited for when I run out of content to do, because I've finished all the games that I would do, and I can go and actually play through Resident Evil, and I'm just going to title the first episode Resident Evil Fan Excited to Play the Games for the First Time. I'm very excited for that to be a title on a YouTube video, because I think that'd be funny. Just boring me to tears to ask away.
Oh.
Closing register, yeah.
Huh?
That's kind of funny. Know anything about person centering away? Don't know anything. Oh! Did see Oda-san's body.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all the same dialogues before.
Oh.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Because we know that Imigawa had stuff stolen, so we are getting something new out of him. By the way, do you remember Imigawa? Imigawa? Sounds familiar. Your co-worker from Cafe Alps. Oh, Mr. Gloomy. Yeah, I remember him now. Imigawa says he had things stolen from his locker. You know anything about that, Usami? What? You think I had something to do with it? I'm just asking a question. Can I shame this? Or is this a Phoenix right if I say no, I back out? If I say yes, I offer definitive proof to say I know you did it, bitch. No. Just trying to find out what you know. But you really think I did it though, don't you? Okay, you got me. I did do it. What? I was just trying to make a quick buck or two. All I took was a wallet and some CDs I sold off later. Anything else? Like what? You didn't steal Imigawa's uniform? Yeah. Uniform. I didn't make any money off that. All I stole was his wallet and CDs. That's all. So that's all I took, huh? Maybe the police really did take the uniform. Okay, that got me somewhere, but I need to ask before I continue. Does that count as shame? Or do we not know? Because I don't want to do this for like another hour and then find out that that shamed me because I didn't say yes immediately. Because that will... You'll find all the info you needed. Okay, okay. The shame is paranoiding me. So everybody relates to the case, but it doesn't look like it's going to be easy to prove Yuichi Akechi's innocence. I should meet up with Kazuma at Cafe Alps. Also, now we're meeting up? Are we actually just going to piece this together now? I do not have enough info. I don't have enough info. We have info that... Okay, the thing is, I'm assuming this is going to be like Phoenix, right? The only way we can prove him innocent is to find out who did it. Offering enough reasonable doubt that, I don't know, there was a uniform that someone could have stolen and they could have been wearing that when they left, so it may not have been him, isn't enough. So I feel like we need to find out who it is. This isn't the finale yet. Okay. Okay. Paranoid about getting shame on this. Paranoid as big. So this is investigation former, and we're about to do... Well, this is investigation day 1, and we're about to do trial day 1. Okay. So I'm just trying to pass it in Ace Attorney terms. If I can understand it through the lens of Ace Attorney, I'll know what we're doing. Fuck you. I will say, for as much as I do say how much I love the hate moves in this game, I will say I do think the smashing a plaque over someone is one of the weaker ones in this game compared to previous ones. Like in this, you literally just plant it on top of them and then it breaks. It's very quick, and I think it's a bit too quick to sell the impact. In the other ones, like you often get the slowdown moment right before he does it on top of them, and then there's like a big crash impact. With the vignetting and stuff like that, I feel like it's a little bit of a weaker impact in this game compared to what it's been sometimes in the past. But then there are ones where the vignetting and everything like that is way better in this game than others. Oh, this is going to be Satoy, isn't it? Funny seeing you here. What's up? Oh no, it's someone else. I'm taking one of my clients out in the town. We're in there, so I thought I'd drop by and see you. Oh, what's her name? I remember Satoy, but it was... I don't know. Taking a client out in the town. Do you mean you're going to one of those host clubs? My client just happens to like host clubs. Really, it's just a coincidence. Speaking of which, isn't your perfume a bit strong tonight? Damn, you're being judgy. Oh, really? I didn't think so, but... Oh, look at the time. Okay, gotta go. Bye. That Yuko. Wait, so your client is going to a host club? We stand a bisexual icon. Was that woman talking to Kaneshita? That's Kaneshita-san's wife, Yuko-san. Ah. Kaneshita's wife? How'd you know that? She actually used to work here. That's how I know her. I feel like I should have known this. She worked here? Is it? So she is Sato. Sato. She would have quit by the time the murder happened, though. And she wasn't on screw tapes of the dining area, so she definitely wasn't at the cafe that day. I see. Doesn't sound like Kaneshita's wife, Yuko's involved in it, in the case, but maybe I should look into her anyway. Or Kazo's testimony. Damn. Oh. That was literally the entire thing. Alright, okay. Hey, where's your wife? I mean, host club. I think I know where to go. No, because I now know of a second one. Never mind. Either the detective can tell me, or I can just rock up to the host clubs and see how it goes. I'll see how it goes over here. This town ain't kinda strangers. I ain't seen you around before. Fourth chairman of the Tojo clan, Kiryu Kazuma. I feel like all of the Yakuza in this town should be given a photo. This is Kazuma Kiryu. Kazuma goddamn motherfucking Kiryu. If you see him, do not try and shake him down for money. You will leave with more bones in your body broken than not. Don't fucking do it. So you can't help that he gives everyone brain damage so they forget about him. Come on, come on. Ah, fine. This one's pretty sick. Elbow drop! Hell yeah. You're a strong bastard, sorry about that. Like, I know the idea is that there are some people who send people to go and fight Kiryu basically as a way of canonizing them. Like, I know that that's not Stardust. I know that's a thing, but like, some of them do just seem like chumps who think they can shake me down. For reasons, I guess. Hello. 5-star treatment, you deserve. I thought that was Kazuki for a second. You don't seem to be here. Balls. Either detective will tell me, or I go to the other one that I now know of. Oh. Oh, they're talking about the hospital. Place is huge, just seen it on TV. It's all the big stars and politicians go. We got a patient like that in the VIP room right now. Really, who? I'm the doctor in charge of his identity, but I mentioned he's famous in one way or another. I wonder who it could be. We've got to keep Daigo hidden somewhere so no one finds out where he is. Quick, chuck him in the VIP room of the biggest hospital in Tokyo. That'll keep him hidden. I wonder how Mine worked out where he is. She is here? Ooh. Wait, she's at Stardust? She is at Stardust? Where? Where? Oh! I was looking for someone with a green arrow above their head to talk to. Not a cutscene trigger spot. Ah! Who's that? That looks like Kanashida's wife, Yuko. Hey, Yuya! What brings you here? Yuya, can you tell me more about that woman over there? Who, you mean Yuko-san? Yeah, she has like 5 guys to herself. She's been a regular customer of ours for years. What do you want with her? She looks awfully rich for somebody so young. She manages a venture-funded startup. The company got popular making products targeted at young women. It's been growing pretty fast over the last 4 or 5 years. Damn, I hope Kanashida doesn't have an inferiority complex. Stealth? She's blending in. She's just sitting in the group doing this. No one can find her. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 1 references. Fuck yeah, that's what all the kids love these days. Does the Xbox 360 count as a retro console yet? I saw people saying the Wii counts as a retro console, but I don't know if that came out before or after the 360. Hey, do you want to hear something funny? That may very well possibly mean that the game I'm playing right now counts as a retro game. I mean, I got the reference. Yeah, but we're all old fucks. We've discussed this before. The 3 of us are old as shit compared to the rest of my audience, so, you know. Now, Kiryu sitting right in front of her asking Yuya, hey, what do you know about her? Oh. Hey, Yuya! You see this chick in front of me? Give me the dates. My phone just came up with the OK Google thing, and all it picked up was chick in front of me. Don't know if I need that in my search history, thank you. Oh, Yuya, who's that? I haven't seen him here before. Is he a new host? Oh look, there are other women here. Yuka-san, this is Kiryu-san. We owe a lot to this man here. And no, he's not a host. You know, he isn't because I didn't get to play the host thing in Yakuza 2 because they didn't put it into Kiwami 2 for some reason. I feel like Yakuza 2 has so much content in it that wasn't put into Kiwami 2 that I should play it to see some of that stuff just in some capacity. Like, just so I can see that one part of Sotenbori. Just so I can see that one IF6 or whatever the fuck it is that Minamita did in that game beforehand. Just so I can see Kiryu be a host. Not like a full playthrough of the game on camera, but like enough of the game to see that content. And also it would be like a fun experience to go and see what like old fucking PS2 Yakuza games were like. Hot MILFs in your area? Nah, chick in front of me, yeah. Hot chicks in front of you? Click now. Play Yakuza 1 just for the English dub? I was about to say I don't want to hear that, but then I remembered that Marshmallow in that game is voiced by Mark Hamill, so fucking over. Okay, so like I know that Yakuza 2 has a lot of content that didn't make it to Yakuza Kiwami 2, like the stuff that I just mentioned. Is there that much in Yakuza 1 that's like not put into Yakuza Kiwami 1? Or did it catch everything, faults and all? And by faults and all, I mean the Arase fight. Oh, I see. Well, that's unfortunate. This is my company, by the way. If you ever need anything, just give me a call. Sure. You got Yuko's business card. Bye now. Tonight was fantastic. We'll be looking forward to seeing you again. So, okay. So her clients are people at the beauty pageant, the beauty company thing, and they just like coming out to here. That's where you go for your drinks to discuss business meetings. We have seen this very frequently in the game before. Just usually with male clients and going to hostess clubs. As far as I know, Yakuza Kiwami has all the original content. Then why doesn't Kiwami 2 have all of it? Look, if I'm going to be someone who goes through the Yakuza games so fucking much that I decide to do every sub-story in every single game, I feel like it's worth it to go back to Yakuza 2, PS2, to see Kiryu be a host. To see this unique minigame that they have in there as opposed to, like, fucking, like, Virtual On or whatever it was. That they had in Kiwami 2. I would probably just like try to find a way to emulate it, and I'd probably just download a save. that you can go and do that content in. Because I, like, instead of playing through the game myself and doing one episode where, by the way, it's at, I'd probably just download a save and then do all that. I did all the information I can right now. I should go back and see Detective Maeda. We're not gonna call the woman about the business? Okay. And, like, ask her questions? Okay. Sorry. Why don't we get the... Why don't... I just, like... It's just weird having a remake of the game that just, like, doesn't include it all. And, like, just... Like, again, I get replacing Kiryu as a host for a sequel to Yakuza 0's Cabaret Club because of how popular Yakuza 0 is. Like, I get why they included that, but, like, getting rid of Kiryu as a host is just, like, from my understanding, that doesn't happen in the rest of the fucking franchise. Or, like, a unique, like, arcade game that was made specifically for that game that doesn't come back and is referenced in this game. Nah, just put some old Sega classics in there. Just put some Sega arcade games in there. Like, this game is Box Elios, but we don't get the thing in Kiwami 2 for that. We get the Sega arcade games. I don't get it. Like, one street of Sotenbori that you go to for, like, one story segment, from my understanding, I think people said, when you go see the Shogi guy, instead of, like, in one of the back alleys, that you're hiding Makoto in Zero, it's, like, a separate part of Sotenbori that is, like, you only go there that one part of the story. Like, that I get, because that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to basically make another street of the city, model all the buildings, model all of that shit, to put it in there for, like, one tiny little story segment. That I get. That I get, right? I understand that, not putting that in there. But, like... Put in the minigame? Play OG Yakuza 3 so you can play Answer, No Answer? That is in the arcade clubs here. From my understanding, that's also been removed from... Because that's like the Japanese trivia show thing. From my understanding, even Yakuza 3 remastered in Japan got rid of that. Because also Yakuza 3 is like the big controversial one where the original release in the West didn't have most of the content. It was missing like several hostesses and sub-stories and stuff like that. And then the stuff that they brought back into the West here, they brought here, and stuff they didn't bring into this version of the game for the West, they also didn't put into the Japanese version in the remastered one. So there is that. So I don't see anything off about any of this. Do you have a minute? Oh, it's you. Oh, I thought you were talking to us. It got removed for international versions and then from all versions in the remaster. Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah. So yeah, it's only in one version of the game. It's the original Japanese one. It was removed for the West and then removed for Japan when it was remastered, yeah. So technically, Yakuza 3 is missing content from the, like, even though this game's not remade, the remaster is still missing content. But from my understanding, one of them's an incredibly transphobic sub-story, so fair enough. And the other one is a Japanese trivia show from 2009. So it probably wouldn't be relevant anyways. It's still, like, they could have done a different version of Answer No Answer. Like, make it based on Kamurocho stuff. And things like that, like make it like it's Kamurocho trivia as opposed to like specifically Japanese 2009 trivia. Like they could have brought it back in that capacity with just different questions that just like are things that would make sense that anyone who plays Yakuza might be able to answer. But yeah, they could have done that. But yeah, the transphobic sub story isn't back, but that's an example of something that should be removed, and it's good that it is. That's likely why they removed it. 10-year-old trivia that even a person in Japan wouldn't know. Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, if you just brought the same questions back, it probably wouldn't make sense. But they could have, like, brought it back and changed the trivia to be about stuff that Yakuza players would know. Ask about, like, make the trivia about places around the city, or, like, history of the Yakuza games, of things that happened in previous games, or stuff like that, or, like, just, like, make it based on that, as opposed to, like, real-world trivia. Like, they could have brought it back and made it based on that, if they wanted to bring it back. And I think they could have done that. And I would like to have seen that. But I don't think that's as egregious as, like, a custom, like, mini-game. From my understanding, it's like a fighting game or something from Yakuza 2 not being put into Kiwami 2. Like, that's weird. And then they put in Yakuza 4 Plus questions, Kiryu, can you time travel enough to answer these questions in Yakuza 3? Oh, dear God, no. Oh, it's you. So you find proof of Akechi's innocence yet? Ha ha ha. Was that you were looking at? Oh, this? It's a list of evidence we made during the investigation 6 years ago. Ah, now you're looking into it. Taking such a hard look at the case, I thought I'd better take another glance myself. And we actually get to see more of the evidence. Can I see that? I guess, but you won't find anything wrong with any of it. Honestly, can't figure out why you think Akechi's innocent. A list of evidence. Wait a minute. What's this? What's this? What's what? I finally got it. Was it really this simple all along? No mistake about it. Somebody framed Akechi. What? Eh, Don's explanation. There it is. What? Are you serious? Psychic bar trivia machine sounds fun as heck. Actually, probably a short story you can make that. Go for it. Fuck it. They could have brought Answer No Answer back. They totally could have. Petition Sega to bring back Answer No Answer. Port it back into this game. If you can release a patch to remove the Don Quixote theme, you can put in a patch to make an updated that. Now's the time to save? Okay, good. What, are you serious? Yeah, I'll explain everything, but first I need you to round up everyone related to the case. But it'll turn out fine, you'll see. Okay? Just don't blame me if it doesn't. I got everybody together at Cafe Elves. That ought to work, right? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, hell yeah. I've got all the evidence I need. It's time to reveal what really happened 6 years ago. Kiryu knows some shit that we don't. And that's... Actually, I can look at the list of evidence. I'm gonna save, otherwise I'll forget. And I'm gonna look at the list of evidence myself to see if I can work out what is so obvious to Kiryu that someone framed Akechi. Because I'm curious what he saw that was so blatantly obvious to piece it all together with one single bit of information. Ah, the neck refused. But the neck refused to crack. Is anyone interested in me playing Chrono Trigger? That's literally the only part of it I remember from watching the Best Friends LP it. Oh, and really on the rocks? I also remember that conversation. I watched that entire 50-part like series, and I remember those two things. So we got a lot of testimonies. Can't look at. There's that. Okay. Oh, we can't even. Okay, Kiryu knows something that we don't. Okay. Okay. I'm wondering if it's something to do with the ashtray, and he's just like, oh my god, you fucking idiots missed this? Are you dumb? I'm wondering, it's either going to be Yuko did it, or she's gonna come in with, like, the last decisive save. We went out of our way to get her, like, business card, and we never called her or did anything. Like, we never did anything other than get her business card. We got no info out of her. She totally did it. That's the thing, is it's like... Because they said that they were in a relationship at the time, right? They said that they were in a relationship at the time. She might have just seen him and killed him for cheating on her. Might have been that. I don't know. Well, I did as you asked, detective. I closed the cafe and kicked everyone out. Now, what's all this about? Kiryu-san and his friend here would like to talk to all of you. I have you here for one reason, and one reason alone. Is the sister here? Oh yeah, there she is. I think that's her. Yeah, everyone else showed up in their work uniform. She's in a suit. I'm sure you'll remember the murder that took place here 6 years ago. Theme of somber place. The victim was Kazuo Oda-san, the manager of this cafe at the time. One of the employees, Yuichi Akechi-san, was arrested for his murder. He's upset. But did Akechi-san really kill Oda-san? I'd like to ask each of you to think back on that day. Do any of you have any evidence, any truly conclusive evidence, that Akechi-san was really the one who killed Oda-san? I've been struggling with one question since the day of that murder. I forget, what was Okazo's reasons for being invested in it? Was it just something that he found fishy because he's a journalist? Or did he have, like, a personal stake in what happened? Or was it just something he looked into? I forget. Could Akechi-san actually be innocent? But before I could find out for sure, an article I wrote implicating Akechi-san as the murderer got published. Oh, it was this. Thank you. Thank you, Akazo, for clearing it up for me. Right, you wrote an article and it got published, and then you couldn't get it retracted. Now I'm remembering. But thanks to Kiryu-san here, we finally arrived at the truth of what happened 6 years ago. I'm worried that I'm gonna have to get this accurate and correct without actually knowing what Kiryu knows. Yeah, they published it without permission, and then, yeah. But if Akechi-kun is innocent, that means someone else is guilty. Exactly. But... what do you base all this on, Kiryu-san? I need to show them proof of Yuichi Akechi's innocence. What should I give? What? What? Do I need to do this? Like, do I need to choose the right thing on this list? What? The game literally... Kiryu has... should I just use this? Do I just use this to start with? Like, I'd be fine with this. But, like, Kiryu literally saw something. We weren't told what it was. And now I have to work out what he saw? Do I just present this? This is what Kiryu said was the obvious thing. Do I just do this? I'm straight up asking, by the way. Tell me. Tell me whether I'm presenting this first or not. Because the game's not telling me. The game's not getting... No? This is stupid. What? Kiryu got a revelation by looking at this, and I'm not allowed to know what it is, and I'm meant to work out what he worked out without seeing what he saw to work it out. What? How? Usami failed to witness Akechi murder. Kenichi's looking floating in Luke's face. Oda was dating someone at the time. Sai sold stuff. Someone was stolen from Megami's locker. Could have Yuko come into Cafe Alps on the day of the crime. Post the Oda things to present in Discord if you want to look at it. Is it reasonable for me to work out and I'm being an idiot? Or is this actually unreasonable? Is it actually unreasonable to know what to do? Like, I think I know who did it. I think I know who did it, but how am I meant to present that, to show that? If I need to do it in a specific order, I have no fucking clue what I meant to do for that. That seems unreasonable for me to understand. Like, this seems unreasonable to just know what to do. I don't think it's unreasonable, but like the first one is Usami's because we're showing there's no conclusive proof, I believe. I feel like I'm running into the same issue that I run into in Danganronpa and Ace Attorney, where what the game wants me to present, I don't understand that that's what the game's asking of me from what they said beforehand. Because I thought what I'm presenting here is, like, proof that someone else did it. Not this. Okay. So we'll start with Usami's testimony. Usami was the one who saw Akechi and Oda fight the day of the murder. Isn't that right? Yeah, but I left in the middle of it. In other words, she didn't actually see Akechi-san kill Oda-san. Exactly. And only Usami saw Oda and Akechi fighting. So we can't conclude Yuichi Akechi killed Oda, which means the charges against him could be false. Ha! Sorry, but that doesn't hold water. What do you mean? Akechi's prints were on the weapon used to kill Oda. I had solid evidence to prove Akechi did it. Is that all you have to say? Huh? What do you mean? This was your case. You ought to know Akechi's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone weren't enough to convict him. I don't follow you. Spell it out for us, will you? It's evidence I should show them now. Okay, so like something like this. I understand this, right? He's explicitly saying, the prints on there mean that that's confirmed evidence that he was the one who did it, right? So now I present something that says, no, that's not true. Which is either, it's either, so now I do either the florist or the list of fingerprints. I do one or the other. I'm still gonna read and get this right because I don't want to fuck this up. But like, this I understand. Now I'm meant to present one of those. The one that we start with, I don't quite get like how you're meant to go to that. Present ashtray fingerprints. There we go. I'm correct on that one. Yeah. See, if it's going to be this, someone brings up a point, we counter it, someone brings up a point, we counter it, that I understand. The first point doesn't... the first point, no one really said anything that, to me, said that that's what we were meant to present with for Usami's. Like, the rest of it, if we're countering what people say, that makes sense. I just don't think the first one did that. The ashtray uses the murder weapon, hadn't been washed because it was supposed to be thrown out. Akechi's prints weren't the only ones on it. That means you can't prove his guilt from the fingerprints alone. Detective, is that true? Yes. It's just as he says. So you admit it might not have been my brother. Yeah. But that's still not enough to prove somebody else did it. Somebody witnessed Akechi fleeing the scene. That's another piece of solid evidence. Think about it. You think the person actively fleeing the scene of the crime is the culprit, wouldn't you? Why would they run away if they didn't do anything? What do you have to say about that? Kiryu-san, do you have any information to refute the witness statements about Akechi-san? Let's see. There was a hole in one of the witness statements. I just need to argue that angle. So now we do Kinoshita, because he didn't have, like, a look at the face, and it's just like, oh, well, you only saw that, and then it will go to the apron and stuff like that. Kinoshita, yes, perfect, nice. So now I get it. Now I get it. Now we're literally doing the Ace Attorney thing. Someone presents an argument, we point out objection and point out the flaw in their argument and stuff like that. Now we're actually doing that. Kinoshita, you saw Akechi fleeing the scene, right? Yes, I did. Are you sure? I'm not lying. I'm sure I saw him. But you didn't see the face of the person fleeing the scene. You said that, right? Yeah. I only saw his back. So then it's possible you saw someone else. Is that all you got? The police wouldn't have arrested Akechi on just any old vague evidence, you know. There was also something that proved the person Kinoshita-san saw was in fact Akechi. And what was that? The man Kinoshita-san saw leaving the scene of the crime was wearing a Cafe Alps waiter's uniform. The only waiters employed by Cafe Alps at the time were Kinoshita-san, Asai-san, Imagawa-san, and Akechi-san. Security tape showed Kinoshita-san and Asai-san out the front at the time of the murder. We've also confirmed that Imagawa-san was at home. Therefore, by process of elimination, the only way Kinoshita-san could have seen was Akechi. Kiryu-san, is that true? No. It's absolutely possible the person Kinoshita saw was not Akechi. I have a statement to prove it. Well then, why don't you share the statement with us? So I'm either doing Imagawa's or Asai's. I think I start with Imagawa's and someone's gonna bring up, oh, but that was stolen, then I do Asai's? Imagawa, yes. Now I do Imagawa. There was actually another crime committed at the cafe the day of the murder 6 years ago. Another crime? It's the first I've heard of it. Imagawa's uniform disappeared from his locker in Cafe Alp's locker room on that day. Imagawa-kun's uniform? Yes, my uniform disappeared from my locker. Since you weren't present the day of the murder, when did you notice something was missing? The day after Oda-san was murdered. I came to work. The police were investigating, so I couldn't go in. But once the police left, I looked at my locker and saw that my uniform was gone. Come on, the police probably took it as evidence. I'm sure there was plenty of stuff missing from the crime scene. You're wrong! Somebody was definitely harassing me. Everybody teased me. Asai-kun, why don't you tell them you took the uniform? You took everything else. The uniform must have been you too. You're so whiny. Bully, police, whoever took it has nothing to do with Akechi or this case. No, Imagawa's uniform is the key to this case. Huh? What do you mean? I'll show you right now. I can show them 2 pieces of evidence that prove what happened to Imagawa's uniform. So yeah, that's this. That's this. I guess that it's not listed in the evidence, which we didn't get to see. Yeah, list of evidence and Asai's testimony too. Yeah. See, we didn't get to see that the list of evidence said that. You just have to work it out. And the other piece of evidence is Asai's testimony. There we go. Look at this list of evidence I borrowed from you. There's no waiter's uniform on it. Let's see. You're right. I didn't see any waiter's uniform listed. In other words, the uniform disappeared before the police showed up. If the police didn't confiscate it, who could have taken it? It was Asai-kun, right? No, not Asai. He did steal things from you, true, but he wasn't doing it to harass you. He was just after some cash. Your wallet and CDs make sense, but uniform wouldn't have been worth anything. Well, then who did it? Oh, you mean the murderer took it? Exactly. The criminal wanted to make it look like somebody else committed the crime, so they stole the waiter's uniform and changed into it. Then as soon as somebody came by, they hid their face and ran out the back exit. Is that true? So you're saying the person who stole Imagawa's uniform had fled the scene, and fled the scene's the real criminal? Yeah. And who might that be? Yeah, Nozumi, obviously. Oh, Jesus! Choose from everyone! Choose from... I mean, I'm going to assume it's Yuko. I'm gonna assume it's Yuko. And she was dating Oda at the time, saw that there was cheating happening, murdered him for it. Yes! Yuko Kinoshita. It totally was her. Yes, this is the only person it could have been. Oh, shit.
Kiryu-san. それではその人物の名前を教えてください。
Oh, shit.
6年前、小田さんを殺し、明智さんに罪をかぶせた事件の真犯人とは一体。犯人は
They're making it so tense, Kiryu.
お前だ。
Take that!
お前が小田を殺した。
He literally did take that! Are you serious? I can't believe it. What? Yuko killed Oda-san? An interesting theory, but why would I kill Oda-san? Ah, yes. Ah, yes. The thing that always is the thing that the really innocent people do. When someone accuses them of murder, the innocent people always respond, an interesting theory. Close enough to an objection, it does not get a 0 out of 10. I mean, that was more of a take that than an objection. But why would I kill Oda-san? I didn't have any reason to do anything like that. Yeah, you can't. Riichi Akechi's motive was Usami-san's relationship with Oda. Exactly how Yuko-san and Oda-san connected. Oda was dating someone at the time? I assume Asai's testimony won. Yeah, Asai's testimony won. Oda was dating somebody at the time of the murder. Somebody used to work at, as a waitress at Cafe Else. What? Is that true? Yeah, and her last name was Saito. Saito? That's Yuko's maiden name. I hear you worked at this cafe until just before the time of the murder. Yuko-san and Oda-san were dating? I didn't know that. Yuko-san, is that true? I didn't have to answer that. Yuko. Oda-san was dating Yuko-san, but Usami-san wasn't the only one cheating. Oda was cheating too. And that means Yuko-san also had a motive to kill Oda-san. So anyone with a motive is a killer. You haven't done anything but hypothesize. Exactly. You've only talked about possibilities. Do you have any conclusive evidence that she murdered him? Conclusive evidence. Like fingerprints. If only had something with Yuko's fingerprints on it. Do I have fingerprints on this now? Or do I need to present the ashtray fingerprints first? No, I totally have this. I totally have, yeah, Yuko's business card. Ta-da! This is the evidence. Is that my business card? This business card has your fingerprints on it. Wish you had to compare the prints on this card to the ones on the murder weapon. Ugh.
Cool.
Give me that business card. Let's check it out right now. Hey, he's got the aluminium powder out. Nice. Nice. You're almost as good as a science teenager. We finished analyzing the prints on the card. There's the Yuko Kinoshita's prints. And these are the prints on the ashtray. Bloop. Hey, there's a match right there in the fucking middle. Dun dun dun. The prints on Yuka-san's business card are the same as the one on the murder weapon. I don't believe it. Dun dun dun. How do you explain that? Even my prints are on that ashtray, so what? How does that change anything? What do you mean? I ate at Alps the day of the murder. I must have just touched the ashtray while I was there. She's right. There's no crime in touching an ashtray. She was just a customer. No, Yuko's lying. I should call her out on it. Wakazo has no record of her showing up. Man didn't even look at the camel factory to burn him off. Rookie mistake. Don't you know to burn off your fingerprints before you commit crimes? God. No, you're lying. The hell are you talking about? There's no record of you coming to the cafe the day of the murder. Right, Detective Maeda? He's right. We had cafe ops employees watch all the security tapes, and they gave statements that no other cafe employees, formal or otherwise, visited the cafe that day. Right, Kinoshita-san? That's right. I'd seen Yuka-san's face before, so I would have noticed if she was on the tapes. She definitely wasn't. Which means you didn't come to Cafe Alps on the day of the murder as a customer. So why were your fingerprints on the ashtray then? Fine. Maybe it wasn't on the day of the murder. It might have been the day before. It's not that big of an issue. Nope. You had to have been there on the day of the murder. You weren't a customer. You were the real murderer! He said the Naruhodo? I missed that. I also don't know what that is. Huh? The only people who could have prints on the murder weapon were those who visited the day of the murder. How'd you come to that conclusion? And now for the coup de grace. I just need something to prove when the prints on the murder weapon were made. Whose statement is it that says that? That things were washed every day? Oh yeah, the Florida's testimony. Ready? Objection! The ashtrays here are cleaned every day, but your prints were still on the murder weapon. That means you had to have been there on the day of the murder. But the day of the murder, a customer dropped the ashtray, chipping it. Yuichi Akechi saw the chipped ashtray, and instead of washing it, decided to throw it out. Since you couldn't have come to the cafe as a customer that day, there's only one time you could have left your prints on the ashtray. You did it after Akechi dropped the ashtray in the locker room when he witnessed Usami cheating on him with Oda. Sometime after Akechi left, and before Kinoshita came to check up on him, you entered the locker room and murdered Oda. Then you put on Imagawa's uniform and went out the back. Isn't that right? Japanese for I say. It's also Phoenix's name in the Japanese version. Oh! Oh, it is Ace Attorney. It's Ace Attorney as fuck. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Aha! Nice. Yuko-san. It's what Kiryu-san says is true. It'll only get worse if you stay quiet. Shut up! I told you I didn't do it! Do I? Do I do it? Do I do it? I'm gonna do it. Gotta do it. Gonna do it. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. Alright, I'll stop that. So, Right and Naruhodo are roughly equivalent gags, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, cause someone says, "Oh, I see, I see Naruhodo," and it's just like Naruhodo. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I give up. Yuko, I'm putting an end to this. What? Do you know something, Kinoshita-san? I knew you came to the cafe that day, Yuko.
どういうこと
What? How? I could smell you. It was very faint, but I could smell your perfume all around the crime scene. Ah, they did mention that she wore strong perfume before. We already heard this.
そんな
No way. Naruhodo, Naruhodo, Naruhodo. Now he's a Pokemon. Why didn't you say this earlier? I've been in love with Yuko ever since we worked together. That's why I knew the scent of her perfume the minute I smelled it. Sometime after the murder, I happened to run into her again. Eventually, we started dating. One day, I brought up the murder and her face went white. She felt quiet and avoided commenting on anything. That's when I was sure Yuko had been here on the day of the crime. And you kept her quiet this long? Akechi's been in prison the whole time. Well, I'll be. But I still didn't know exactly what that meant. Or, I should say, I didn't want to know what it meant. When I found out Kiryu-san was looking into that old crime, I decided to keep it all a secret. But now Yuichi Akechi has suffered 6 years for a crime he didn't commit. All because I didn't say anything. It's all my fault. If I had just spoken up, none of this would have happened. Gee, Kinoshita-san. I smelled her perfume isn't much. Nah, with all the everything else, it's enough.
もう言い逃れはできないぜ。
優子さん、今一度尋ねます。あなたが小田さんを殺したんですか？
そうよ
Hey, there we go.
私がやったのよ
Could just go to the place with just perfume. I mean, to be fair, he went to police with, I saw a uniform leave, and it worked before. So. Will you give a statement that Yuichi Akechi is innocent? Yes. Akechi-san had nothing to do with the murder. Yuko, how could you have done such a thing? Was it really just because Oda-san was cheating? Of course that's what it was about. He said he was gonna marry me. Hey!
あの日は彼の小田さんの誕生日だっただから私は彼を驚かそうと思ってプレゼントを持ってお店に向かったのもうお店も閉まっている時刻だったから裏口から入ってロッカールームに向かったわでもそこで見たのは他の女と浮気してる彼の姿だった私はとっさに身を引いて隠れた落ち着いて目の前で何が起きてるのか理解しようと努めたわそのすぐ後に明智さんがやってきた明智さんはロッカールームの中を覗いて小田さんと宇佐美さんの浮気現場を目撃すると手に持っていた灰皿を落とし小田さんに掴みかかっていったわ言い争うような声が聞こえた後すぐに宇佐美さんがロッカールームから出てきて裏口から店の外へ出て行ったわすぐに明智さんも宇佐美さんの後を追って店の外へ出て行ってしまった明智さんと宇佐美さんが出て行った後私はロッカールームの中へ入っていった小田さんは私の姿を見てすごいびっくりしたみたいだったけど浮気がバレたことが分かると開き直って別れ話を切り出
His
して
dick was still out and
宇佐
wet,
美
so
と
like,
一緒になるつも
I
りだから
kinda knew.
別れてくれってねその言葉を聞いた途端完全に頭に血が上っちゃって気がついたら近くに落ちてた灰皿で小田さんを殴っていたわそれ
That
から
means
は
that you're
桐生さ
stronger
んが
than
言った通
Kiryu
り
because
よ
Kiryu's hit people in the face with ashtrays before
私
and
は
they've
ロッ
never
カーにあ
died
った
from
制
it.
服に着替えてわざと裏口の前で誰かが来るのを待っていた少しして誰かが客席の
See,
方
like
から
they're
やっ
trying to
てき
make
た
it
から
like she's trying to make it out that she's sympathetic. Oh, I was so heartbroken by what he had done and what he had said
それで部外者
that
の
I
自
put
分
on
に
someone
は
else's
絶対
uniform
に
to
疑
get
いが
them
かか
framed
ら
for
ないだ
it.
ろうって思ったわ
Like, she tries to make it out that she's sympathetic because her heart was so broken and stuff. But I was still gonna frame someone else for it. I was still gonna make someone else also suffer. On top of the person who I killed. Several years passed. I ran to Kinoshita-san and we eventually got married. I started selling things as a hobby, and it soon turned into a business. Before I knew it, it grew into a large company. It's been 6 years since that day. My life's been going so well. I can't believe the truth came out now of all times. Yuko-san. Did you ever think what it felt like for Akechi-san to have to bear those false charges? What it felt like to be knocked down to rock bottom and have his freedom stolen from him these past 6 years? I think what would have happened if we hadn't revealed the truth just now? How many more years would he have suffered? Only the person who took Akechi-san's freedom away can give it back. You need to turn yourself in. Testify in front of a court and pay for your crimes. Can I escort you to the station? Yes. Yuko, I'll be right here waiting for you when you get back. No! Kinoshita, come on! Sorry. Thank you. She murdered someone! And then used you to put someone else away! Man handing out papers. Extra, extra, read all about it! Guilty criminal of a 6-year-old murder turns herself in. The man originally accused of the crime now stands to be acquitted at a new trial. And then it gets to that new trial and they're just like, nah, there's still enough evidence. We're gonna say you're guilty too. Bonk, and they just both end up in prison. I was wrong about the media. I thought you went from one person to the next looking for gossip. I didn't think you cared about the people in your articles. I think you just forgot about them the second they left your pages. Well, so, a lot do. But you've been worrying about my brother this whole time. You've even proved his innocence. There are decent people in the media. Person, so far. No people, because Darte's there too. Damn, you right fast. Dude was just literally overhearing what we were saying in the cafe and just started writing it out on a bunch of pieces of paper. Thank you so much for helping him. Nozomi-san. I also have to apologize for the way I treated you. I want to give you a reward for helping me get a retrial for my brother. I mean, dude did still lose 6 years.
Yeah.
You don't owe me anything. As much as I hate to admit it, I didn't do anything on this one. Proving your brother's innocence was all the work of Kiryu-san here. I certainly don't deserve any reward from you. What are you talking about? You did what a real journalist is supposed to do. What do you mean? Sure, you wrote an article saying Akechi was a murderer, but now you've written an article clearing his name. You know, it balances out. You're completely absolved of your actions. Isn't that the way a real journalist is supposed to resolve things? Sure, but I won't let this be the end of it. I'll continue to follow the truth until the day I put down my pen. That's my duty as a reporter. And I'll be cheering you on. Hey. Hey. And we get like a nice pan out, like how you often got the pan out like zoom things in like fucking Yakuza 0 for sub-stories and stuff like that. And we got that again for this. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Bam, level ups. I should probably check my shame meters. I should probably check my shame meters just to make sure. And pan out to every speed jank. Love Yakuza 3. Well, no, I guess more in Yakuza 0, it's more of a pan to the sky. It's more pans to a sky. Oh my god, for the first time, I think literally literally the first time in this entire game, every sub-story that we have started, we have finished. That is the first time that this has happened in this game. Because literally the very first sub-story we started was the hostess one. Literally the very first sub-story that we started was the hostess one. So we've never had a moment until now where we've finished every sub-story we've started. And look at that! Look at how little shame there is. Oh, that's right. There's fucking none, baby! Hell yeah. I will say, outside of like the starting thing of presenting Usami's statement, because I didn't quite get what you were meant to do there, we started with 0 out of 0 sub-stories. True, I guess. I will say, like, outside of that little thing, at the beginning for the Usami testimony, I didn't quite get, like, everything else after that, it was just like, okay, you know, that makes sense, that's what you present next. That makes sense because it's, like, the next, like, you're objecting what the next person is saying to show evidence and stuff like that. I will say, like, outside of, like, I didn't quite get that you're meant to do Usami's one, I will say I genuinely think that is one of the best sub-stories that we've had, like, in the franchise so far. Outside of sub-stories that are focused on characters that we know in, like, outside of the story, like, any sub-stories that focus on Rick here, or, like the DILF one is really funny, or some of, like, the really amazing ones, I will say, like, how I'm still gonna, oh, absolutely, I'm not gonna save those until the next stream. No, I'm gonna do them now. We're still going, baby. I don't care that we're 4 hours in and I'm taking a really long time to do this final content. We're still gonna finish this off now. We're so close. But yeah, like, I'm not saying it's the single best sub-story that we've had in the entire franchise, but I think that's pretty high up there. How fucking hard it goes for what its concept is so sick. Getting this entire graph of showing all of these pieces moving around, getting, like, they turn this profile page into, like, a separate profile page for that. You go around interviewing people, you have, like, an entire, like, shutting down people with evidence. For a Yakuza game to have a sub-story that goes that fucking hard into the, like, it's not like, there are so many other sub-stories that would be a murder mystery, where it would be, talk to one person, talk to one person, talk to one person, maybe beat someone up, it's resolved and you don't make any decisions, boom, 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 things roll over and you get points, right? This one wasn't that. This one was piece it out by talking to all these people, get graphs of all of this, get a profile page to keep a track of all of your evidence and the connections between all different people. Like, this is Yakuza. This is a game where you're going around as a crime man, beating up other crime people in like a real-time action fighting game combat kind of thing. And one of the side story things is basically a visual novel mini Ace Attorney as a sub-story in this game. That's fucking sick. When Yakuza does that shit, that is so awesome. Like, to me, like, all of your sub-stories change the genre into, like, rhythm games, or just, like, you're straight up playing another game, or you get some fucking, like, 9-hole golf course golfing, right? Or, like, fuck it, 10-frame bowling, or you get all of this, stuff. Like, the side stories are so good, because you get to do all of these other games inside of Yakuza, and I feel like this has been one of the few sub-stories where you get to play a different game in Yakuza. Like, a lot of the other sub-stories are either just beating up people, or they're basically just, like, normal visual novels, because it's just a lot of dialogue. But, like, this was, like, how the game puts in its golf, like, a golf game inside of that. You get Sega Fishing inside of this. You get a rhythm game inside of Yakuza for the disco shit. This is a sub-story that basically gave you that as well. And I think that's fucking sick. That is cool. Do I think it's perfectly executed? No. But, like, the fact that they did it and went for it is enough to be awesome. That's amazing.